gallon bibs or gallon jugs, and then you could buy a mop frame handle like this I would use, and this is called a flat mop finish. So this goes on. These are sold, you can get them 18-inch wide or 24. 18-inch is a little bit more easier to handle. 24 gets a little wider. I don't have a gallon bib of finish with me, but I'll show you the concept. Like I said, I think Jason was pretty much sold on the Pro Speed.
So then we use double tanks.
Okay, so that's what you use, okay. But if you don't want to use that, you can use these. Then most people will take a gallon jug, put this on the floor. They'll pour the finish right on top of here, and then lay their finish back and forth with this.
Oh, we never thought of on top of it.
So that's one way you can do it.
I would have slapped it on the floor. I would have thought of pouring it on top of it.
Yeah, just pour right on top of these guys, and it sinks right into the top of that mop head.
Yeah, I would have never thought of that.
So that's the way some people use it. Flat mop finish it's called. So it's just kind of looped. It's kind of looped and lays the finish down really nice. Like I said, that's one way to lay finish down. We kind of sold Jason on a Pro Speed application.
Yeah, much better.
So these are finish in a bib, and they come in a box like this. So there's 6 of these in a box, and when you get 6 of those, you get these tubes with it. There's like 4 in a case of these. And then, where's that? Flat one. That white pad we brought in. We had a white pad we brought in.
Yeah, you did.
What is it? There's a white
Oh,
pad
yeah,
over
with
there.
that draw you.
Oh yeah, there's a white pad over there.
Yeah, on the floor over there.
That one?
Yep, that one there. So then there's like 5 of these in a case. So once you buy one case of these, that's now he's using high mileage and Amplify. I personally like Amplify the best. This is my personal opinion. So this stick and this stick are exactly the same, just different color. He's got vector in there too. He's using a few different finishes in this. So Pro Speed finish is a concept where it's easily set up and easily cleaned up. That's why Jason liked it. Where's this? So to start laying finish, I'm going to use Amplify. So you get the stick. This goes in the sleeve like this. You hook up this tube, running goes on one way. Once you hear that 2 snaps, it's on. And this you got to run through here. You can do that by pulling up on this. Or this does the same thing here. See how it works out.
So I did just stopper, it's a stopper.
Yep. And then this goes on the bottom of it. I think the floor is dry enough, isn't it?
Sure looks like it.
So that's your setup. Just like that. And once you start laying finish, I'll start this way and work that way. If you're doing this room, obviously you work. But when you're laying finish, you probably want to do the whole room at once. So if you're doing this whole room, you start there, work one way, work this way, and then work towards that door.
My door is just over in the corner.
Right. So this way, turn this on. One way. Squirt finish on the floor in front of you. And do a figure 8 to get it wet. When you need more finish, put some on the floor. Enough on there. I might do my edges first. If you're doing your edges, you can kind of go right up against the edge with this like this. It's not the best edger in the world, but it does work. some more finish on the floor. Gonna work it back and forth. You need more finish, work some more on the floor. Then they train me to kind of dance with it after a while. I'm not a great dancer, so.
Yeah.
Did you miss a strip? It was like
I
a
see it too,
different finish
like that little thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
towards.
No, I might have, yeah.
Right there.
So, obviously ideally you don't want to do that, but, I mean, if you're doing this whole room and happen to miss one strip like that, don't sweat it, because you'll get on the second and third coat. So if you happen to miss something like that, I mean, don't come back and walk in your finish to get that. Obviously, with this application, we got a little square I can kind of go around. But I would just leave it and then just get on your second or third one.
So you use 2 to 3 coats typically, or?
3 to 5. If it looks good after 3 coats, leave it. If you need to add more, if it doesn't have the shine that you like, you're gonna have to add more.
We only do 2 coats.
But you wait till it dries, right?
Yep.
He enjoys it.
Is it fast drying?
You have a good job there.
Yeah, about half hour probably. So I'll close this.
He likes doing it.
I'll get a can liner, put this in a can liner. Someone give me a can liner.
Camera right down over there. Is there a certain kind of sheen you're looking for when you do it, when you put it on wet?
No, just like nice and smooth. Keep it level, nice and smooth.
Just make sure it's wetted down.
Yep.
It's a half-hour dry time in between each layer? That was
Yep, so just let it dry and hopefully it dries within half hour. So about a half hour, you know, it's gonna depend on the facility. Sometimes it might take longer, sometimes it might take shorter. Some people will take a fan, like if we're doing this whole room, we got the whole room done. After about 10 minutes, some people put a fan in the door and prop that fan up at an angle, so it kind of spreads the air out. What you don't want to do is put that fan right on the floor, like right on it, because then you might create ripples. So you just want to prop it up and create. But the other problem you got with that is if you don't dust these things, you get air flow.
Oh, yeah.
All the dust comes onto the floor. So
So do you have to test, like the furthest corner away from your fan, do you have to test that to see if it's dry before you start the next coat, or will it just uniform?
you'll tell once it's dry. Yeah. You'll be able to tell. Like you can still see it's wet, obviously. What you can do is just kind of put your hand on it eventually and see if it's dry. Yeah, at this stage, you know, if like I put finish over a couple of these things, and this won't look very good. It's going to be dirty underneath it. So you want to make sure it looks all white like that before you lay any finish on it. Like I said, sometimes you might have to strip out once, twice, 3 times. This depends on the buildup of your floor. But this looks, I mean, this is how it should look. White, the finish over top of it. And it's just waiting games. Now we're just waiting for it. So.